With me is Ann Corlett, standing in Douglas Central, one of our last ones to get to the interviews. If there's anyone outstanding, I've tried everyone, but you are always been tricky to get hold of for interviews. Don't like that you say that, I know, but I suppose it matters what you're getting on the doorstep. Let's
Absolutely,
face it.
yeah.
So let's have it. What are your big issues?
The big issues on the doorstep are roads and pavements, affordable housing, bus routes, pretty much what's outside your front door, which is really important to everybody.
So is that local or is that national?
I think it's national. No, listening to what other people got to say.
Yeah.
It's an all-island issue.
Now, speed limits is in there, isn't there, for you? Are you for reducing it or what?
Not all-island speed limits. No, nothing like that.
Right.
No. My campaign has been for 20-mile-an-hour limits in residential areas. Just because huge parts of Douglas Central are residential. I was getting a lot of complaints, so I thought, I'm going to go out and knock on doors, which I did. It's taken me 2 years because of the pandemic with lockdowns and leaving a suitable time afterwards. I got people to sign petitions and they put posters up, and I put an amendment to Tynwald and got it through unanimously to agree this. So it's not everywhere, it's just in the places where people live.
So 20 miles an hour, most of Douglas? I mean,
Well, it would be actually, because most roads in Douglas are residential, aren't they? So, yeah.
And you say housing, of course.
Affordable
housing. Have you got any solutions? Because, I mean, I always ask everybody.
You know what, I think we need some more rent-to-buy or mid-rent schemes. The most difficult hurdle to get over is the deposit. So enabling people to get the deposit through rent-to-buy schemes really gets them over that hurdle.
But I keep saying supply and demand is the issue we're dealing with. I mean, all economists will tell you.
That's right.
There is enough housing, is enough people. I mean,
we've got an awful lot of empty houses in Douglas, which, for what reason, I don't know, because we've got quite a lot of, So have you got a solution for that then? I mean, should they be made to rent them out? Let's bring them up to standard, and because leaving houses empty when people haven't got houses doesn't make sense, does it? I think we could use some of the brownfield sites to create some, eco-housing too, because it's something that's really quite sustainable, but within a price range that first-time buyers can afford, really. And housing, actually, it's impacting so many other places. I mean, key workers can't find housing, so we've got a recruitment and retaining issue because people can't afford to live. And I mean, if you're a nurse or a policeman, your wages aren't fantastically high. So affordable housing is crucial if we're going to recruit into key posts.
So, I mean, you've had 5 years. Did you get the things done you wanted to do? I mean, what are you going in there with passion for if you get back elected?
Yeah. I mean, some things we got through. We got some good social legislation through with sexual offences bill, abortion bill. I'm not pro or anti-abortion, but I'm pro-choice. We got, what else did we do?
I mean, what things did you put? Did you have anything on your agenda? You
domestic abuse. I wanted to see some legislation for domestic abuse.
Have you got any more lined up for?
I would like to see some services and support services in the arena for domestic abuse. There are other things I want to see see through. I want to see a mental capacity bill come in. It's hugely important. It can affect any of us at any time, and we don't have any. We need a framework to hang the policies on. And I'd like to see a new Mental Health Act before the end of the next administration, because the one we've got now is not really fit for purpose.
Now, how have you found it being an MHK? You know what I'm going to say here. You're one of the quiet ones. In fact, you've been talked about on social media because of that. You probably see that. Is that unfair, or are you just this person that doesn't?
Actually, it's probably fair comment.
Right.
But you know. What I
know. Getting you in front of here was tricky.
I don't seek attention. I kind of.
Doesn't it go with the job? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, because you can get so many things done, and it probably should go with the job, and it's something that I think, if I'm elected next time,
you'll work on it.
I have to, because actually it gets your message out.
You didn't do my 5th year interview. The only one that didn't actually in the end get it done. I know.
See?
Couldn't get you done, but anyway, that's another thing. I mean, what do you want to do? Because well, I was there when you stood in once for the health minister, and it wasn't your cup of tea. I thought.
I think it's just
you've learned
practice.
something?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it is really just.
Where
practice.
are we going then for the next 5 years? What do you want to do yourself in that sense?
Do you know? What would I like to do? I'd like to be in cabinet office, maybe.
Okay.
I quite like.
As the minister.
Minister of Policy and Reform. Is that me? Who knows? But
You've
certainly.
thought about this, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you must have
a lot
ideas.
a lot of it is down to what you're offered by
but it's always
whoever's
nice to
in
hear what
charge.
you would like to do.
Yeah, it's minister. No, I mean education minister, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
education's quite high in your thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The schools. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked really hard in education, and we have made a really big structural change in the department itself. It was very top heavy, which we've sorted out. School issue, constituency issue really, is Ballacmean. It's hugely overcrowded. There's 1,700 students in there. I mean, that's the population of Laxey.
They put the porta cabins in. That
No,
seems a very solution to
two
me.
more this year, and even that hasn't provided. They're having to use some space at the Youth Arts Centre in Kensington
But
Road.
you've been there, so how to get out in this situation?
Because the ministerial clout has not been in Douglas for education. Right. We have got things done at QE2, we have got things done at Castle Rushen. Both are needed, but actually, you know, I've pushed and pushed for this now. I'm so frustrated because it hasn't been addressed. And
you got any hopes on the horizon, though?
It has to. This cannot go on. The school is absolutely overflowing.
So if you offered, education.
Yeah, I'd love to sort that out. I just really would. I mean, I'm not an educator, so I don't know if it will work. But my solution would be, perhaps, to put an extra wing on Bemmerhague and take it to 16. Take Ballacmean to 16 and have a Douglas and East sixth form centre at St Ninian's. Right. So, I mean, catchment areas were looked at. I had to ask them not to do what they wanted to do in education and change the catchment area for School and Jubilee, because what they wanted to do was move that catchment area to St Ninian's. Now, School Jubilee, you go to the Ballaquail site, then you go to Murray's Road, and then you go to Bemmerhague.
Okay. Let's get booked then. Health, though, let's talk about that. Were you for the situation we've now got with this intermediary, Manx Care?
You know, all that's happened in health in the last 5 years prior to Manx Care's creation and Sir Jonathan Michael's review is firefighting. Services cut in order to.
I'm still hearing
the
they've got
hospital.
massive issues there. I mean, you must hear that all the time.
Yeah, they have, but taking that operational part out of it leaves the department itself to do the policy and the strategy, the legislation, the regulation that goes behind it, which hasn't been done in the last 5 years because everything's been focused on operation. I appreciate actually that some people see Manx Care as another layer of bureaucracy and job creation. I truly believe this will work. Right. It's going to be a bumpy ride, certainly at first. We're going to have to hold tight. But I truly believe we will have a better health service.
Okay. Quick things, I mean, the problem, although it's Douglas issue, I mean, you've been in there, you see what's going on, Liverpool as well, we might throw that in there, the Liverpool landing stage, and all that sort of thing. Any hope for the future if you went back in to keep the monetary spending?
I think we have to. Do you know what I think we have to do? We have to form a capital projects management unit that oversees these, not only the big projects. I mean, the Flumes, it's not that big, is it? And yet it's an embarrassing situation.
I mean, obviously the COVID card gets played all the time, doesn't it? All the time. That can't go on anymore.
You can't hide behind COVID, can you? You know, these are things that should have been finished and should have been finished on budget. Right. Liverpool Ferry Terminal, the costs are about to explode on that.
Yeah. Would you walk away?
I think we're in too deep.
Right.
To be frank.
It's a bit of a poke of this, isn't it? How far did you go?
Yeah, how can you hold your nerve? Yeah. No, I think we're probably in too deep to walk away.
Let's talk about finally, who you'd like to see running the government. And you're saying you would be up for being a minister, by the way. You just say that, didn't you? So you'd like to be inside Covenant, right? Okay. You think you've done your bit. You're ready to go in there.
Yeah.
So who is going to be your choice to actually be Chief Minister?
Now, I know this is a question that always gets asked, isn't it?
But
to be fair, I find it difficult to nail my colours to the mast when I don't know where the mast is.
And I take that into account, and I always say to everyone, but this is more if you had totally your choice. So it doesn't matter who's standing, and also you can change your mind because things change.
Yeah,
but who would you, as it stands, after seeing the last 5 years, who is you going for?
Well, we've only got one person that's thrown their hat in the ring so far.
Two actually. Go on. Haven't we?
No.
Haven't we got has Alf not and
Alf
Alex?
hasn't. Alf
You
hasn't
may not.
stated,
Okay.
no.
I think it's taken.
I mean,
again,
I was pretty torn last time between Alf and Howard.
Yeah, because I mean, Alf obviously has stood before, so there's a great assumption he might do it.
I think he'd do a good job.
So you go for Alf?
Well, who knows? I'm not saying I would.
I'm
I'm saying Alf would do a good job.
If you have the choice at the minute, that's who you want going for, as it stands.
No, I'm not going to say that. No, I'm not going to say that because I want to know what their policies are. Do they align with mine? Yeah. You know, and it's all a trade-off, isn't it?